Meka, Rohini, we're good?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Okay, well, hi everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us. If you've been able to join, we'll also just wanted to get us started here. So we have Rohini and Meka, and hey guys, sorry, I was getting an echo on the other platform, so you can hear and see me still. Yes, fantastic, thank you. Sorry everyone. Just to get us off, Rohini, do you want to give a quick introduction, and then Meka, we can jump over to you?
Sure. So I can't see any of the things that are happening on the live stream, on the other stream. So if there are questions or something, I actually turn that off because of the echo. Anyways, I'll start with intros. I know we don't have as much time as we were hoping, so I'll keep it brief. But my name is Rohini Pandhi. My day job is at Square. I'm a product lead on our payments team. And I started a nonprofit about 5 years ago with some friends called Transparent Collective, and we focus on underrepresented founders and helping them get the resources they need in order to succeed. And so from that, I kind of also started over the last few years putting in some smaller angel checks and then angel investing on my nights and weekends. So that's my brief intro.
Cool. Thanks, Rohini. Meka, do you want to go ahead?
Hi, everyone. My name is Meka Asonye. I'm the VP of Sales at Mixpanel, a self-serve product analytics solution. I started angel investing about 3 years ago, and a little bit of a circuitous path here. My first job out of college was at the Cleveland Indians doing Moneyball stuff. Then went to business school in Bain and spent 4 years at Stripe before landing here at Mixpanel. So everyone, angel investors come in all shapes and sizes and different career backgrounds.
It's very cool. Meka, I want to talk more about that with you at some point. But for now, let's hop into just a really quick question. Like, how do you evaluate a deal? You know, what does it mean to you to evaluate a deal, right? And it's an expansive question perhaps, and there are certainly like best practices, tips and tricks, but maybe start high level and then jump down to the tactics. Rohini, do you want to take it?
Sure. I can at least get started. I know I'm not going to hit everything, so Meka, feel free to jump in, and whenever Kat's available, she can also chime in. But I think I typically talk to founders at like the really early stages, so pre-seed, seed stage deals. And so the things that you would look for at that stage versus what you're going to look for in a typical institutional round, like an A or beyond, is going to be a little different. I tried to have the same questions across different criteria points. So, you know, how big is the market? Why these founders versus anyone else? What is the differentiation or the secret sauce that they have that someone else doesn't have? All of those, I guess, typical evaluation criteria. But then I usually just kind of skew more towards how big is this market now, but then also how big could it be in 5 years? So the market that exists today may not be the market that exists in the future, and what kind of growth would that see? And then the founders and the founding team. Either do I really have just a fantastic cold introduction or a conversation with them, or do they come through a warm introduction? And I really believe in what they're doing and that they can succeed here where others may fail.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think to build on that, maybe the one piece that I would add is, for me, especially at the early stages, what I'm looking for is, you know, some people called it an earned secret or the contrarian bet, but it's why, you know, for the most part, you're going to be hearing pitches where it's someone trying to solve a problem that's been out there and where there may already be competitors in the market, incumbents or new startups. So what I'm really focused on is, what does the founder know or believe to be true that others don't, or what unique or new approach are they taking, or what has changed in the macro landscape or in the industry such that there's a chance for a new player. So I'm always just trying to understand what's different, why now, and sort of how did you get to that insight.
Meka, thank you. Kat, I saw you just joined. Do you want to give a very brief intro and then kind of start to answer that question too? Like, how do you personally evaluate deal? How did you kind of get into even thinking about this? Just why don't you go ahead?
Awesome. Great to be here after the technical issues. Still a bunch of people watching. We're super excited. So I'm Kat Orekhova. I'm a founder and the CEO of Vara, which is an early stage company helping finance and executive teams run their businesses better. And before that, I was head of product at Ironclad, which is now a Series D B2B SaaS company. And before that, I was at Facebook for 7 years. So I've built a lot of different products over time and have worked with a lot of companies, both within them, but also as an angel investor, have invested in about 20 companies so far. And what I look for, I think everyone has that kind of similar list, big market size, kind of similar things that they look for. But I try to distill it down into this framework of 2 basic concepts. First, is this generally a market, a problem, an idea that I think can be a really big company in the next decade? And then secondly, if I could pick anybody to start this company, would it be these founders? Like, is there that founder, not only founder market fit, but like really founder company or business model fit? Like, do I think these people are the ones to really take this and be incredibly successful? And when those 2 factors are there, amazing things happen.
Cool. That's great. And I know we only have a couple minutes, so I want to be mindful of that. I mean, you now have been, each of you, investing for, I don't know, let's say X number of years at this point. What would you say that you wish you knew at the beginning that you have learned over time, whether or not it's evaluating the deal, whether or not it's how you interact with founders, how you add value as an investor? And this is a notably difficult thing, given that you're operators and you with your own full-time jobs, but at the same time, you're in competition to a certain degree with others, as well as with the big firms. So would love to hear perspectives on that. So Meka, why don't you go ahead, then we'll go. Just please follow on with each other.
Yeah. So for me, I would just say time is super valuable. And as a full-time investor, while you might have a fiduciary responsibility, when you're investing off of your own balance sheet, you can really choose where you spend your time. And I think you can get inundated with LinkedIn requests and opportunities where, frankly, I just don't know how to evaluate the market. So I try to focus my effort on either people I know really well, high signals. My first couple of deals were people that I'd known for a decade. And then after that, I really try to focus on segments I know well. So SaaS and fintech tend to be my sweet spots. And it just makes life a lot easier. I find when I try to do consumer deals, when I try to do something in deep healthcare, it's really hard to get to a yes. And I think that's the other piece that I would think about is your brand as an angel. There's so much money running around the market where the worst thing I think you can be is an angel, a small check who asks for multiple levels of diligence or takes 4, 5, 6, 7 calls to get to an answer. So for me, I find it a lot easier to just get to a yes or get to a no really quickly in spaces that I know and understand. And I really also just think about that founder, that brand that I'll hopefully have as an angel, as how do I make sure that even if I don't invest, that entrepreneur got something from my interaction. So I'm always thinking about that.
Cool. Go ahead, Rohini.
I was gonna yes and all of that +1 to it. I think the time element has been a huge learning for me, but then also not even from the diligence side, like leading up to the yes of the deal, but then the support afterwards as well. There's just, you have to pick the right investments of your time as well as an angel, and you want to make sure that you're supporting the companies that you've backed and you're there for whatever cycles they do there as ongoing advice and as supportive team. And so I think there's another consideration that I've learned over the years, which is like what I guess VCs would call the portfolio management aspect of it. And so making sure you get to that yes with some level of confidence, but then also making sure that you have time allocated every month for helping out the startups as well.
Kat, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with all of that. It's, there have been a couple of companies that I've invested in where it seemed like a really, really amazing company, but kind of as Meka said, maybe it wasn't exactly in my space, or maybe the founders didn't really need my help as much. They were already set up, and it's great. That could be a great financial outcome. But if you think about it, if you're angel investing and you're thinking about this as a financial situation, honestly, invest in a fund. There are many wonderful micro funds that will get you a good return and save you time. So usually when people angel invest, they're doing it for not purely financial reasons, but because you actually want to spend time with these founders and you're excited to help them, maybe to learn from them as well. And so as much as possible, when you're early on in that angel investing journey, if you can really explain to yourself, why am I doing this? What am I hoping to get out of this? That will give you clarity, and it will help shape who you invest in as well.
Would you, it sounds like, I mean, some subtext I'm hearing is it can be a little bit of a lonely journey as an angel investor as well. And perhaps I'm reading into it a little bit more than is necessary, but diligence on your own, understanding your sweet spots, etc. What do you think about working with syndicates or scout programs? And have you found those not only valuable in terms of like access to deals, but also that other investor support? Would love to hear any thoughts if anyone's had experience with that. Meka, it looks like you're nodding your head. Or all of you, the scenes are nodding your head. So why don't you go ahead, Meka, and then we can kind of go back around.
Yeah, I mean, I think scout programs are great for a number of reasons. I think one, it expands the access for who can actually be an angel investor, since you're not investing off your own balance sheet. I was part of the Excel Scout program, and I think it also just gives you another community and part of First Round's Angel Track. All of these communities are great because it gives you a sounding board, it gives you deal flow, and honestly, this can be lonely, but if you can find your people, I think it helps you just get a second opinion. So highly +1 angel sort of scout programs and anywhere where you're just building community.
Yeah. Well, Rohini?
I think the benefit of like being an angel isn't a zero-sum game for us. You can usually get into deals that where VCs are competitive about leading that deal. We can usually get in a small check. So I actually find it a lot easier, and it's very beneficial to build that community either through those programs that already exist. Like I was also part of First Round's Angel Track, scout programs, whatever, syndicates, whatever you need. But then also just like I have my Rolodex of people that I go to when there's a developer tools pitch, and I'm like, okay, I understand it enough to be dangerous, but I want to get in-depth knowledge from someone else that also could be investing. And we just share notes and trade points of views. And I think it's much easier to do diligence as an operator when you can leverage a lot of other people's intelligence in a certain field and domain. And so I think it's better, and everyone should take advantage of it as an angel.
Cool. Kat, I know that you had some thoughts in our pre-session, but we do have to jump over to the other session. So please, I want to hear your thoughts, but keep it brief.
Yeah, absolutely. Working together with groups of angels is really great. And so for anyone else there, just an open invitation. If you don't already know other angels, feel free to reach out and we can point you to various groups. And before you know it, you'll actually know dozens of other angels, and it'll almost be too many people for you to keep in touch with. So we're happy to help. If you're early, if you're just getting started, we've all been there.
Cool. Thank you, Kat, for that offer, and thank you for closing us out. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties. This has been recorded, and you can see everyone on the platform and their information. So as Kat mentioned, feel free to reach out, or if not, reach out to Signalfire, and we can get you all connected appropriately. So instead of don't leave the session, but just click the blue hamburger menu in the top left of the corner of your screen, select sessions, and then select the next session. And then you can join that session from there. So that way you can just kind of keep on with the content for the day. So thank you again for everyone for joining. Thank you all for my panelists. Lovely to have met you so briefly. Hopefully we can keep in touch. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.